Hey, welcome back to Startup Screen Printing. My name is Jesse. This is episode 5. So in the past episodes, we've talked about getting started, which press to get started with, choosing between water-based and plastisol, even finding your first customers, and not becoming victim to the temptation to do more than just screen printing and offer anything the customer's asking for, becoming a one-stop shop. Today, I want to talk about a little more of a business portion, and that is the idea of now that I'm going to start my own business and I'm going to start this screen print company, how do I present myself to the public? A lot of people, for years, it was the norm for you to pretend you're more than you are, pretend you're bigger. When you are on your website and you are in emails and any promotional materials or anything, refer to yourself or your company as we, as if it's more than just you and it's a larger organization, so that people will know that or think that they're dealing with a company that's established. And there's all these ideas of, maybe they're established. They're a bigger company. It's not just an individual. I'm going to get better service that way. And I think that's actually the opposite. My experience has been in my own company that the opposite is true. And people, not only do they appreciate that I let them know that it's just me, a lot of times I have actually gotten customers just because of that fact. So when you start to put yourself out there and start to promote your company, even if it's just as simple as on social media, or on a profile description on social media, or your website when you have a website up and ready, or when you're sending emails or anything like that, I want to encourage you to be open and honest and proud of the fact that you are a one-person show, that you are, and if you're doing it as a side gig, that you tell people that you're doing that as a side gig and that you are trying to start and build a company and that it's your passion. I think people are drawn to that more than ever. I think customers want to deal with a person. They want to deal with an individual, a real human being on the other end of that email. They want to know that they're dealing with someone that they can relate to and that is not bigger than them. And so this idea that you need to pretend that you are a big organization to try and gain customers, I don't think you're going to gain customers that you want to gain. I don't think you're going to gain the right type of customer. In my opinion, and my experience is that when you pretend to be big and you attract customers that want to deal with a big company or want to deal with more than just a solo person, you tend to attract people who are focused more on cost and speed. And in my experience in screen printing, those are the hardest people to please. Those people will never appreciate the quality that you produce. They will never appreciate a good experience. And they will always find something wrong with the order, whether it's the print or the price or the turnaround time or, anything. They will find some reason to nitpick the order. And so when I started, when I worked at the print company back in 2012, when I started working there, it's something I picked up on very quickly, is that there are two different types of customers. There are customers who are focused on price and they want the cheapest. And there are customers who are focused on quality and they're willing to pay the price. And what's interesting is that those that are focused on the quality are the ones who complain the least. And they're the ones who offer the most grace when things do go wrong. And oftentimes we had our most loyal customers became the most loyal customer after a major mishap that they trusted us to do the right thing and make right on the mistake. And we did, and they kept coming back because they knew that they were going to get the experience they wanted to get and they were going to get the quality they wanted to get. And they didn't care about us being more expensive than the shop down the street. But those people who are more focused on price and really were oftentimes they would send us a price quote from another organization or another company, or they would go bounce back and forth between companies on orders. They'd order from the competitor one time and from us another time. And they were just always focused on price and getting discounts and things like that. They were always the ones to complain first, and they complained the most. And they were just so difficult to work with and difficult to please. So when I started my business, I knew right off the bat that I was going to be very open and honest about who the customer was dealing with, so that they knew exactly where I was coming from. They knew exactly who was on the other end of the email, and they knew that I could cost more in their mind because they knew it was a side gig and that I was focused on quality, and I started it because I wanted to provide a premium print. There was more leniency with the price as compared to other shops. I would tell people right off the bat, hey, I'm going to be more expensive. So you're welcome to go, if price is your thing, then you're welcome to go with the lowest bid, and I understand. But I tell people right off the bat, hey, this is my side gig. I'm just me. But you know what? What's great about that is, since it is just me, I will touch every one of these shirts. I will count them in myself. I will print them, every single one myself, and I will count them again myself, and I will box them myself, and I will let you know myself that they are ready to pick up. So the good news about it being just me is that I have control over the entire process, and I can guarantee you that you're going to get a great product, and I hope you appreciate that. And they do. They do every time. And in fact, I've gone so far as to even set my voicemail of my business phone number. I have a separate business line through an app, and it actually goes straight to voicemail. It doesn't ring at all. And so I've only gotten maybe 2 or 3 customers over the years via telephone. It's probably 2 or 3 per year, I guess, that I get contact me through my phone number. Granted, I don't put that phone number out very often, but it is on things like Yelp and Google, and so it's there. People can find it. It's not on my website anywhere, but it is there. It's out there. People can find it. I really have it so that I can put a phone number on business things, accounts and things like that. But if you call my business phone number, it will go straight to voicemail every single day, all day, every day. It goes straight to voicemail, and that voicemail says, hey, thanks for calling. This is Jesse, the owner. This is my side gig, and I work a day job. And so it's really difficult for me to be available to answer the phone. If you could please email me or go to my website and fill out a quote request or the contact form there, I'll get back to you as soon as I can. But email is going to be the best way to get in contact with me. And I've not had a single person complain to me about that. That's not to say I haven't lost business because of it. I very well might have. I might have lost business for it. There might have been people who called in, didn't leave a message, but it kept going to voicemail and they kept hanging up, and maybe they went somewhere else, and that's okay. If they heard that voicemail and heard that it's just me, and they didn't want to support me or didn't want to deal with me simply because they couldn't talk to me on the phone, then that tells me that they're going to be more difficult to deal with. If they're not willing to bend a little bit to help me out and deal with me, they don't really want to deal with me. And it's kind of weeded them out without having to tell them to go somewhere else. So that's the way I look at it. And, I'm sure there are some of you out there listening to this that are thinking, oh my gosh, this guy's an idiot. That is not the way you do business. He's losing customers. And I'll just say it's worked for me. I still have gotten plenty of business. I've grown every single year without marketing my business even. And doing things like this where I tell people, hey, it's just me. And this is my side gig. And, I'll respond when I can. Email is going to be the best way, but I just ask for some leniency as far as the turnaround for me to respond. But you can be sure that I will take care of you, and I will make sure that you love the order that you're going to get. You love the apparel that you're going to get because I'm going to print it myself. I'm going to make sure it is the highest quality possible. And so I've had people that, like I said, hear that and decide to do business with me, even though I am more expensive. Another thing that I've also done is on my website to do the same thing. Say, hey, it's just me. I'm not trying to hide anything. Any of the verbiage on my site doesn't say, here at Alpine, we like to do this. It just says, hey, I do this. This is the way I do things. So I'm just very clear that it's just me, and you're not dealing with a big business here. You're dealing with someone who is hustling on the side to grow a business, and that's something that they love to do, and I would love to do it of the highest quality for you. And I think that that's the way to go. I think that you're going to get a higher quality of customer. You're going to get people who appreciate your work. So that's my 2 cents. I, agree or disagree. I'd love to hear your thoughts either way. You may have a good reason why you think it works better for you to, act like a bigger company, and that's okay. For me, it works better to just tell people exactly what they're dealing with, so they know what they're dealing with, and they've given me more grace for that, and it's worked out well. So if you're open to that, I would encourage you to go that path, to let people know upfront exactly what they're dealing with, and just be honest. Just say, hey, this is my side thing, and if I'm a little late getting back to you, I'm sorry. I was in the middle of the workday, and I'll get back to you when you can. That's not to say that you should do all your communications night and weekends. I get up early and send a lot of my emails in the mornings. I try not to communicate with customers throughout the weekends or even at night, even though that's when I do my work for screen printing. I try to keep that at a minimum. And just because I want them to understand that just because I do this on nights and weekends doesn't mean that I'm always available. I'm also spending time with my family. So I want them to get used to communicating with me throughout the day, even though I can't always be available to communicate throughout the day other than, before work or lunch break or something like that. But that's just a boundary I've set for myself. You can handle that however you'd like. But either way, I would encourage you to just let your customers know. Let people out there know that it's just you. It's a side hustle. You work a day job if you do work a day job. If you don't, that's fine too. Still let them know, hey, this is a hustle for me. I'm just getting started, and it's just me. It's just me that you're dealing with, and I'm going to make sure myself, because I'm going to touch every stage of the process. I'm going to make sure that you get an incredible product and that you love it. And if you don't love it, I'll make it right. They don't have to deal with an employee or someone not showing up or whatever. There's so many positives about that. And I think you will get a better quality customer that way, so that you have fewer opportunities, fewer situations where you have to either fire a customer or, just charge so much to make it worth it. And I've done that as well. So that's it for this episode. Let me know what you think. Would love to connect with you all, whether it's on YouTube in the comments or Instagram DMs, or send me an email, jesse@startupscreenprinting.com. Be sure you follow me on all those places. Sign up for the email newsletter on the website. I'm going to be sending more screen printing content on a more regular basis through that newsletter, beyond what is going to be posted to YouTube, et cetera. So if you're really digging into this and you're really getting serious about starting your own screen print company and learning to screen print, I encourage you to sign up for that newsletter, because I think it's going to be helpful. My goal is for it to be an incredibly valuable resource for you as you embark on this journey or continue the journey wherever you're at, starting and growing a screen print company. But until the next video and the next podcast, thank you so much for listening. I hope you have a fantastic day.